Hello and welcome to episode 12 of Digital Theory Podcast. This is a show where three regular dudes talk about video games and assorted geekery. This is Mark, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Ryan and Micah. How's it going, fellas?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Been a pretty crazy week, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we've all experienced that. Hope you guys are doing well.
must be something in the water.
That's what I was thinking.
So we're recording this a little late. We've just had so much going on this week, so please forgive us, but we'll be back on schedule next week.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
So we can go ahead and kick it off as usual. Does anybody have any fresh news?
I have some news to discuss. It's not necessarily fresh, but it's been going on all week, and I think it's big enough that we should probably mention it. And that is the buffoonery going on in the stock market right now with GameStop, AMC, Nokia, Dogecoin, and all the others that are were experiencing a short sale, and then a bunch of geeks on Reddit decided that they had enough and started to beat back on the capital firms. So that's been a very interesting week, to say the least, in the stock market.
Yeah, I'm glad one of you guys brought that up. I didn't kind of put that as one of the topics I was going to cover just because I figured one of you guys would cover it, bring it up, and that has been a pretty wild ride.
Mm-hmm.
I know we don't want to get political on the podcast, but it's brought up some pretty interesting, topics, and you know,
Yeah,
I don't even know how to word it.
you're right.
It's just, where do we go from here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I covered it in class. So I'm teaching civics and economics this year. So usually I save economics for the end of the semester because I feel like it's better for them to go out fresh with that, especially with seniors going into the working world. But I've flip-flopped around, so I've covered the stock market this week. And what is incredibly interesting about all this is that what the Redditors are doing is completely legal, 100% legal. There's no backroom talks going on. All the information is available on a public forum, so they can't be hit with insider trading. What was really interesting and something I didn't think that I would see so openly was the fact that the trading firm, specifically Robinhood, shut down trades for a day.
Yeah, I think that I haven't done a lot of research on it. I know Mark's done a little bit more reading on it than I have, but I at the point we're at, it's like the censorship and this, where do you draw the line? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's getting a little out of hand, and like I said, I don't want to get too deep on that aspect of it, but
Yeah, that was pretty much the only thing I've really followed this week. But yeah, pretty insane though to see.
Yeah, this is great. I told a colleague of mine that this is a bunch of people who had very basic knowledge of the stock market, but just enough to be dangerous to the right people.
Yeah, that's all. Oh, sorry, you're gonna say something?
No, I was just going to extend my support to the Redditors. I think it's about time we had regular people making profit in the stock market and not just the upper 1%.
yeah, I agree with you on that. But I think there were several actually stocks that they did this with, not just GameStop, correct?
Yeah, GameStop, AMC.
Yeah, that was another one that was crazy.
Yeah, Dogecoin, which was a meme, but people have made like $50,000 off of it. It's pretty nuts. I saw a really funny tweet. I wish I could remember the person to give them credit, but it said, I think it may have been Wall Street Bets account on Twitter, but anyway, it said, "We're not doing this for profit. We're doing this to get screwed out of a trading game. We're doing this so we can get turned down for a movie day to AMC." I was like, yeah, exactly. It's the principle of the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see where Robinhood goes from here.
I will say that they're already being investigated by the Security and Exchange Commission, um, and both members of Congress from both parties are not happy with them. So they're they're in for a fine, which to them is nothing because the fine, even if it's $20 million, is going to be less than the amount that they stood to lose, because one of their major investors is one of the major firms that was short selling GameStop. So there's a lot of connected parts in this story. Um, yeah, it's becoming to be a story of corruption more than anything else.
Interesting.
Yep, crazy. I never thought I'd see this though, ever.
Yeah, I didn't think I would either. But it's neat that GameStop got involved. Was
Yeah,
involved.
exactly.
Yeah, definition of the underdog.
They really needed it. What's interesting is that I read an article today and said that this war between memers and Wall Street firms literally saved GameStop and AMC from bankruptcy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm GameStop's not the most customer friendly business that there is, but I never like to see a business shut down. So
Well, especially with everything going on now.
right.
Especially, I mean, GameStop has had a little bit better of a chance because people are inside playing games, but
Mhm.
AMC, that's a
Yeah.
struggling business right now.
They had very little hope before all this happened.
Yeah. So, what a wild ride.
Indeed.
Uh, very good. Anything else, Micah?
Yeah, I have a couple things that I can talk about. So one is there was some very minor details came out about the new Project 007 game that IO is putting out. Um, Nothing really substantial, but I'm a huge James Bond fan. Always have been. I used to just be super excited in the summer when the James Bond marathon would be on, like, I think it was on like TNT or TBS or whatever, at least down here. But I was so stoked when the movies would come on. But the news for the game this week is that there is going to be a new James Bond in the game, not one related to the movie series, and that the story is a completely original story, and it is going to be following James Bond before he gets his 007 designation. So it's kind of like an origin story of James Bond.
Oh, that sounds sick.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I didn't even know that this was a thing until now.
Yeah, they've been it was a kind of a recent reveal, and they've been real tight-lipped on the details so far because they were trying to push out, Hitman 3. But now that that's done, they're starting to open up a little bit more about it.
Wow, that is really cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Not to get too off subject, Micah, but Hitman 3, you purchased that one, right?
I haven't yet.
Okay, I thought you were going to, but
I am, but I had to wait for the check to come in. I had to wait for
Okay.
payday on that one.
I've heard that it has some bugs, so I was just curious.
That is what I've heard as well. So I'm kind of glad I didn't jump on the day one purchase. But
yeah, in the previous podcast, I think it was, we talked about that a little because I was really considering that one, but after the whole Cyberpunk ordeal, I'm just sitting back.
Yep.
Right now, there's just so many games on the PS Plus collection for me to try that I haven't done yet. So just kind of riding those for a little while and seeing what comes out and then seeing the reliability of it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these new games, especially being cross-console, cross-generation games, like the execution of them have been stuttering a little bit here. Little staggering starts.
Yeah, so I mean, the good news is if you don't have a next gen console, you're not missing out on as much as I thought we would.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, obviously we all have one, But if you don't, I mean,
Yeah, you're not missing.
yeah, it's not like there's a big market out there right now for
Right.
new, next gen content. So
Well, and even the backwards compatible games, you know, they load faster, but that's about it. There are a couple games I've noticed better gameplay. I'll talk about one later in the episode, but yeah, it's not as world changing as you'd expected it to be.
yeah, well, hopefully they come along soon. I think they will. Now that the console's out, we'll start to see real production.
Yeah. Have you either of y'all played the Hitman games yet? The new entries?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I think the last one I played was on the PlayStation 3.
Oh, okay. So you played. I guess that would have been Absolution.
That sounds like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Which it was
Yeah.
cool that I liked it.
Yeah. The Absolution was good. I'll say they took a lot of ideas from it. Um, and yeah, I will say that this new series is really good. So if you haven't played it yet, I would recommend it. But maybe wait, because I think with Hitman 3 they're going to bundle them all together into one. So
Oh, that'd be nice.
them
To
all in a
maybe hit
bundle.
Game Pass.
Yep. Oh, that'd be sweet.
I feel like that's the perfect game for Game Pass.
I mean, any of them would be.
Yeah, that's true.
The 1, 2, or 3. But yeah, I agree. Well, I guess I'll use that as a segue and talk about my third piece of news here. I have Game Pass news. There were some new additions this week that are really good. So one I'm really excited about, not because I haven't played them, but just because I love the series, is the Yakuza Remastered Collection is on Game Pass right now. So you can play the remastered versions of Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 on Xbox. So it's pretty awesome. You can play Yakuza 0, Kiwami 2, and then the remastered 3, 4, and 5 all on Xbox Game Pass right now for free.
Wow. So, Micah, you've went from every episode referring to Japanese culture to moving to Game Pass.
Yes, I know. Game Pass has just been hitting out of the park lately. They really have.
Yeah.
I have to give them credit.
Yeah, it is a pretty sweet gig that they have going on there.
Yep. And I had there's one more edition this week on Game Pass that this is the one I've played a little bit of. I'm not going to talk about it on this episode. I'll save it for the next recording until I've played a little bit more. But it's the first next gen only Xbox game to release, and it is The Medium, and it is on Game Pass currently.
I totally forgot that come out. I pre-installed it and everything.
Yep. It's like I said, I'm not going to talk about it. What I've seen so far, I like. Yeah, it's good. And I'm into like supernatural horror type things, so it's right up my alley.
Heck yeah. Guess I know what I'm playing this week.
Yep. It's worth taking a look at for sure.
Sweet.
Well, kind of to piggyback off that, Micah, my one, and I do this faithfully for the podcast, is PlayStation Plus announced their free games for February.
Nice.
Which is like their mini Game Pass that they do.
Yeah.
But anyway, not bad this month. Let me pull it up here. So I found this on Forbes, but Destruction All Stars is the PS5 game that's free. So what they've been doing is like a couple PS4, like one PS5 as of now. So Destruction All Stars, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's supposed to be a pretty big multiplayer game, and it was supposed to be a launch title but got delayed. So I think it's pretty sweet that they're releasing it for free.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, we went from Bug Snacks to Destruction All Stars, so that's a great improvement for PS5 releases.
It is a step up. You're right.
But this one, it does look fun. I mean, for someone who's really into the multiplayer games, if you're into a Rocket League or something like that, I think this would be fun.
Nice. Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for it on the virtual E3 that we had, and it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think I don't know the full reason for the delay, but something tells me it had to do with, the lineup that was releasing. And I mean, it's a big online multiplayer game, and you have not a lot of online multiplayers with the PS5 when it first launched.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to delay it, I think. The other two is Control Ultimate Edition, and that says it's PS4/PS5. So it doesn't really say if that's
Control
two
gets
versions.
Control gets is one of the only ones I've heard of so far that gets the free upgrade to the PS5 edition.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Not that I don't know a whole lot about that game, but looks interesting if you have some free time.
It's good. It's like a X-Files episode.
Okay. Yeah, I know they were really pushing it whenever they were releasing the PS5, with some gameplay trailers. So it definitely has potential. And then the third and final one is Concrete Genie.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah. It's like a smaller indie game. So we'll see.
Okay.
This is probably the least popular one, I would say, because I haven't heard a whole lot about this one at all.
Right. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it.
So, but three new games for February. So make sure if you have a PS4 or PS5, you go snag those. Even if you don't download them right away, just claim them. So that way you have them.
Get them in that library. And two of them are pretty big names, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and last month they had Maneater for PS5. Did you end up playing any more of that, Micah?
Yeah, I'm still playing it actually. It's weirdly addicting. Like, you want to sit down for like an hour.
The controls are kind of odd though for me.
Yeah, especially when you're doing like the out of the water combat.
Yeah,
it's kind of like I still haven't gotten it. It's still a battle to do it, but
yeah, I feel like I'm fighting myself a lot.
Yeah,
but other than that, it's uniquely fun. I mean, it's free roam as a shark, which is
I was gonna say there's nothing else like it,
Yeah, you can't explain it.
Like after y'all had first talked about this game, and I looked it up, I kind of want to play it. It does seem cool being a shark.
It is cool. And the enemies that you fight, like the human enemies, they're all really funny.
I just remember the old Jaws video game was so fun eating people and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all I can think of is it'd be so cool to see that with next gen graphics.
Yeah.
And what's neat about it is you can upgrade your shark.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can spec up your shark, he grows, and then depending on what you kind of get to choose your own path too.
Yeah, it's a shark RPG, if that makes sense.
That's awesome.
And one of the cool things is it's fairly educational because most of the upgrades you get can be found on at least a shark species in the real world. Not all of them, but most of them can.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so PlayStation's trying to do a little bit of a Game Pass in their own way. I think it's pretty sweet. It saves me from buying a lot of games because I'll just pick up one of these or pick up one on the PS Plus collection. So,
yep.
And it's free, so
can't beat that.
So yep, that's it for that one. Speaking of giving away games, I did find an article on TechSpot about the Epic Game Stores. Last year, they gave away nearly 750 million free games.
Whoa.
Wow.
So I know we've talked about it in the past where we've, claimed some free games through Epic or Steam and, good old games. But this is a big number.
That's way higher than I thought it would be.
And they said that they accomplished what they wanted to because they managed to claim 160 million PC customers in total.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty good trade-off.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a very brief article, but then they said the platform still generated 700 million in user spending throughout the year.
Wow.
So something seems to be working. And they said
Yeah.
they plan on bringing out more games for 2021. So
Yeah, and they had an uphill battle anyway because they were kind of late arrivals on the scene, and Steam had just been the only one for forever, you know. So it was really smart of them to do that. That's really a brilliant marketing tool.
I will say though, it's I don't think I could use any other platform like as predominantly as I use Steam. Personally, I've just been with it for so long.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Steam is my go-to. Epic Games isn't bad though. I mean, it accomplishes it, but Steam, it's just so user-friendly.
I definitely think Epic Games. It seems like it outdoes Origin. Like I feel like EA. I feel like Origin is EA's redheaded stepchild.
I also agree with that.
Yeah, Origin's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, that one, and I mean, obviously, it just doesn't have the selection. I don't,
No,
I only have The Sims on my account. The Sims 4.
what's weird is Origin was giving away games for a while, then they just stopped. Like they just quit. I remember picking up Jade Empire for free for PC. I had it on Xbox already, but they had given that away, and they gave away maybe one other one, and then they just quit doing it.
Well, that seemed about right.
Yeah,
Yeah, par for the
EA,
course.
you know.
We rag on EA pretty hard on this podcast.
Well, you know what? They kind of deserve it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do bring it on themselves.
They do.
I did see that Madden 21 is, well, as we're recording this a little bit late, it's free to play. I think it was from January 28th through January 31st to celebrate the Madden Pro Bowl.
Interesting.
Like you just get to download it for free and you keep it, or is it like just for like that time period?
No, I think it's just for that time period.
Oh.
Obviously, I haven't played it, so I'm not sure. But I just saw it like when I turned my PlayStation on. I saw it like as like the PlayStation Store cover. So
Oh, okay.
I didn't really dig deep into it, mainly because it's only got like a day left. So, but Mark, did you download it?
No, I downloaded Madden 20 earlier this week, but have yet to play any of it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's not. I just haven't been able to convince myself that any of the new Maddens have anything to offer that, you know, Madden 18 didn't have already.
And Madden 18 already sucked.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like it just hasn't changed. So.
I agree with that. I think what I'm going to do is this year pick up the new one, just so I have one on next gen, and then I'll be set.
Yeah.
That way I
might go NHL this year.
See, I went FIFA this year, so next year I'll go Madden. Then maybe we'll go from there.
They need to someone get this started. If you know, since we always say something and it happens, let's speak this into existence. They need to let 2K make a new football game.
Yes.
Please, dear Lord, just
I thought there was like some buzzing around the internet not too long ago about that.
I thought I read that too.
I could have swore like Ryan, because me and Ryan used to talk about like the NCAA games all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he sent me an article not too long ago, and I haven't heard anything since.
So I think what we were talking about, Mark, is one of my favorite games of all time is NCAA football. And the last one they made was 2014. Mm-hmm. And that was a classic game. The mechanics for that game were incredible for an EA game. They were not like Madden. And you got to play as your school. You got to create a school. I mean, it was just great. And then there was some lawsuits due to player likeness. So they shut it down. So apparently there was some sort of, now they're allowed to use player likeness. So I'm not sure. There was talk about them maybe restarting that, but I don't know the full details on it.
Yeah. I remember reading it. It was about the fact that they didn't use player names, but because they made the character models look vaguely like the player, it was an issue. But I think now that there's been that push to at least recently to allow college athletes to at least make some profit off their likeness or their jerseys, that it possibly could come back.
So, but I think competition from a 2K game is good no matter what. Even if the game's terrible, competition is
Absolutely.
always good.
Absolutely.
It's just like the golf club game that's 2K ran
Right.
and took over the EA, license franchise for that. That was actually a pretty good game that they created.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
I didn't buy the latest one just because I bought the two previous to that,
Mm-hmm.
but it was good. So we'll keep pushing for it. Maybe it'll come true since we spoke it.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, like you said, competition's always good. It only makes things better.
Did you guys see the Maximum Football game 2019?
No, I did not.
So apparently this was supposed to be exactly that. It was supposed to be like a college football game that I've never heard of the developer or publisher, but it was supposed to be like college football is back, blah, 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 And I saw it in the store, and then I looked it up, and actually on GameStop's website, it got a rating of a 1.8.
Ooh.
And it doesn't have real teams. It doesn't have real
no.
players.
Jeez.
I kind of want to play it just so I can see it, but I can't drop the money on it. If you can, look it up.
Charging for it.
Let's see. Let me look it up real quick. You guys look it up.
1.8. I've never heard of one like that.
There's Maximum Football 2020.
Oh, a new one came out. Okay. Maybe I can get the $9.90. Oh, it's a $9.99 for the old one.
Is it? I'm gonna check the Xbox store.
Maximum
On there, I might buy it.
You're gonna buy it on the store, Mark?
I might. That's very intriguing.
Maximum Football. This is what you get when you ask for Madden on Wish.
But I feel like though, we might be so starved for like good football mechanics that it might be worth it not to play with real teams if it has good mechanics.
Well, I agree with that.
Have you?
Because you can rename it, to whatever you want. But
Right.
This doesn't look like what we want.
You have to, when you search it, you have to click the image tab and look at the images.
Oh, it is on here.
It is.
Oh, just download the console. It might be free.
It's pretty bad. Oh my gosh. It looks like PS2 graphics.
Hey man, it's 2020 Maximum Football.
Maximum Football.
So that's what. I mean, at this point, that's kind of like if we played like an XFL video game.
Yeah. Arena ball.
Hey.
Wow. Yeah.
Did you find it, Mark? Is it on the store?
Yeah, it didn't give me a buy option. It just said download the console. So I wonder if it's free.
I'm trying to look for the PlayStation Store.
Oh,
Bing.
guys, they licensed a player's name to sell this game. It is no longer Maximum Football. It is Doug Flutie's Maximum Football.
Wow.
Okay, it is on the PlayStation Store. The 2019 version is $9.99.
You can play Canadian football in this.
Man.
Is it online?
Hey, that would be cool. We could all get online and stream it.
They have a PC version.
That would be awesome. Dude, it's got achievements. I like that.
We're currently, yeah, I'm looking on here. It's on Twitter, and yeah. the most likes they've ever received on a tweet is 44. Oh my gosh. No, excuse me, 235. That's the biggest.
Wow.
Look, man, I bet people put a lot of time and effort into this, and I'm just crapping on it. So,
Dude, you're stepping on the little man.
hey, I'm sorry, but I guess everybody's dreams got to start somewhere. The snow on the field looks like clouds.
Man, he's calling him out.
Do you know what I think they need to make? A Mario football game.
I'd play that.
Oh, for sure.
Or didn't they remake the Mario baseball game or there was talk about it?
I don't know if they remade it or not. So I remember the Mario baseball and I remember the Mario tennis.
Tennis? I did not like the tennis one on the Switch.
And was there a Mario golf?
There was.
Yeah.
That was fun. Okay,
Right.
so guys, I have looked up Maximum Football for PS4 on eBay, and it has 0 results found. So these aren't even out there on eBay.
If people buy it, they hold on to it, man.
Maybe it's a.
It's that.
Oh wait! Now I found it.
It's a hidden gem.
I found one. Yeah, I found some of the 2019 ones. Sorry, I was searching 2020.
Oh, there we go.
So obviously there's major advancements in 2020.
Has to be.
It's more on eBay than it is at GameStop, so just go to GameStop.
Somebody's really. You're not gonna make your money back if you try to sell this on eBay. I'm just gonna let everyone know.
Ryan's out here doing the people's work, though.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Helping.
This
everybody.
actually looks interesting. I almost want to download it just to try it.
Yeah, I might.
If we need to do some research, guys, after this podcast,
look,
and just see
I'm
if
gonna
it's
tell you what.
multiplayer.
The best way, if people want to hear our thoughts about bad games, is to scoot on over to patreon.com/Digital Theory Podcast and sign up for one of the tiers.
That's right.
We could just include like a tier of us just like complaining about games.
Yeah, you get extra 15 minutes of us all ragging on a specific game of the week.
Sounds like good times ahead.
Sounds like it.
So now that we've completely went and took a hard left turn.
Hey, look, that's the theme for this whole week. So it's it.
The theme is hard left turn.
Yeah, hard left turn.
All right. So anyway, that's all the news I have. Martin, did you have anything? Did we go through?
I was just going to talk about the GameStop thing.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So we've covered that. Well, I'm newsed out. Micah, you newsed out?
I am pretty much newsed out. I do have one more but I think we'll save it for next time. I'm going to talk about the text I sent you guys of the PlayStation patent for VR.
Okay. Building up the next episode.
Yeah, tune in next time.
Exactly. If you want to hear about that, you got to listen to episode 13.
Cool. Well, let's jump into what we've been playing then. You guys are going to be excited for my first item. I'll start with a console.
All right.
Of course, I've got more hours in Call of Duty, so that's just a given. I think I'm somewhere in the mid 70s at this point, but so that's just kind of my go-to. But
from a lot of people recently, how good this game is. Not just you, every week, and I trust you, but I've heard from a ton of other people. I might have to get this one.
I don't know that it's something special. It's just fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it looks great.
Yeah, I might have to pick it up.
Even in multiplayer, the more I play it, I notice like little things. There's one map on Miami, Mark. I don't know if you've noticed this, but there's a dumpster on the back side of the map, and you can see like the flies flying out of it.
Oh wow,
I've seen that.
That's pretty cool. So I pick up on like little things each time I play it. So it's pretty cool.
That's neat.
But I downloaded Days Gone and I started Days Gone.
How are you liking that so far?
That is a pretty fun game so far.
Mm-hmm.
That game actually I thought is pretty intense.
Yeah. I've died a couple times,
I kind of appreciate that it doesn't hold your hand though. Like it feels good.
Yeah, it doesn't hold your hand at all. I would just, my whole memory of that game is just getting wrecked again and again.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. At first, when I was driving the bike, it felt a little odd, but once I got used to it, it's fine. But
Yeah,
yeah,
especially off road.
the game looks great for a PS4 game. I'm playing it on the PS5, obviously, but it looks great, and the gameplay is pretty good. And I love the feel of the shotgun.
I don't know if I used it that much.
I like being like stealthy. Like I think there's like a crossbow or something. I want to say.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I like kind of just sneaking around and seeing how long I can go without being detected.
Oh yeah, that's fun too.
But also like sometimes like that's like legit like the necessary strategy. You get so overwhelmed so quick.
Yeah.
Like ammo is scarce.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that it has those survival elements. So
That, and I like how you have to craft your bandages and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's really in depth. It's a lot of fun.
And one thing I really like about that game is like you actually have to like be careful how loud you can't just hold the throttle down on your bike the whole time because you'll run out of gas and like zombies like.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. Is kind of it adds a little bit of realism to it because of you have to keep up with things like the gas.
Yeah, I really liked it, especially for a game in the zombie genre. I feel like a lot of times they're kind of samey, and this one was definitely its own thing.
Yeah, it definitely stands out among the rest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm not going to be able to play a ton this coming up week, but I'm going to try and get into it a little bit. So that's my console go-to right now. Plus, I kind of want to download Destruction All Stars this week or whenever they release that. I think it's February 2nd. Don't hold me to that date, but that looks like it could be a fun game. So I'm going to try that one out. But I've actually been playing more PC this week. We were talking about that production line game that I talked about in the past. So I picked it up and I decided I'm going to 100% it.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
It's the big commit.
It's a big commit. And you know what? I am one achievement away.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I looked it up before we started the podcast. I've got 47 hours in the game. So it's addictive in a way that I don't know, it just kind of keeps you going. Like you'll find a really productive line that you're running and managing, and then you have to figure out how to get more because you need more money,
Mm-hmm.
And to get certain achievements, it's pretty difficult. I know you guys haven't played it, but the last achievement I got was I had to hire 1,200 people, and I did not realize how many production slots I had to put down to hire that many. So it's fun. Give it a shot. But I should 100% it this week because the last achievement I have is just so many hours in the game, and that's how you achieve it. So,
Gotcha.
So it'll be done this week, and I'm putting that one down for a long time.
It sounds pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You've gotten all but one achievement in less than the time to get that one achievement.
Yeah. So it's fun. But a unique one that I downloaded this week is called Plague Inc. Have you heard of it?
I love that game.
Yep.
Yeah. So I downloaded that. That's pretty interesting. Because of COVID, I just was like, well, this sounds like it might be.
It's topical.
Yeah. I'm like, this could be something good. So I'm still learning it. Still playing around with that. But basically in that game, for those who haven't played it, is you infect the world, and your goal is to take out the entire world with a plague. And so you have to make it more, what's the word? Infectious.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to change the mutations and things like that, all before a research and cure has been found for it. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty realistic at this point.
Yeah, and it's super fun. And what I will say too about this game, and I'm sure Mark, if you've played them, you back me up on this. After you do this, the included diseases, take a look at the community creations because they have crazy ones. Like there's one where you're like converting people to summon a demon to the world. There's one where you're a vampire lord. There's one where you're doing like the Planet of the Apes. Like it's really cool stuff that people have come up with.
Yeah, so I'll be playing some more of that. But I saw there was also a mode maybe where you can do the opposite, where you're like finding a cure. Maybe I didn't play it. I just saw it on the menu option.
It's been a while since I played. That might be a
same
new
here.
thing.
Well, there is a free DLC right now for the game, so maybe that's part of it.
Okay.
So did you get the game for free or did you pay for it?
No, it wasn't free.
Oh,
But
okay.
the DLC was, so but it was only $6, so that's why I picked it up.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely worth $6.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like 7, Micah would draw a hard line in the sand and say no.
Well, for this one, for Plague Inc., I'll say that is a $9.99 game.
So isn't that what you said for Big Pharma as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I looked that up this week again. It said it was $24.99, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's pretty steep.
Yeah, I'd wait on that one. But yeah, I feel like $6 is a really good deal for Plague Inc. Maybe they have a mobile version too.
It seems like it could run on mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely a time killer.
Oh, for sure. Popping the little bubbles.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But that's been my week and my upcoming week. Like I said, I'm going to knock out production line and then I'm putting it away for a while. Put too much time into it, but I'm going to 100% it. That's the goal.
It's going to happen, man. Like you said, all you need to do is put a few more hours in it.
I wish I could just like transfer it to one of you guys to try it out afterwards. Because like I said, after I 100% it, I'm going to be done for a while.
Right. Well, we've always got the summer Steam sale.
That's right.
So if I'll check it out in there, see what it is, and
surely they'll have another sale before then.
They might have a spring sale, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah. So, what about you guys? What you been playing?
Mark, what you got for us?
Well, we talked. I think Ryan mentioned it not too long ago, but I dove into a little bit of Left 4 Dead this week.
Very cool.
First one or second one?
So I have it on Steam, and the first one is embedded in the second one now. So like, it's kind of you can do any of it. So I was kind of bouncing around between all of them, or both of them.
Left 4 Dead 2 is where it's at.
Yeah, that one's definitely my preferred. Like I like the characters in it more. But Lewis from the first game, it doesn't get much better.
Oh yeah, both games are great. I just have a slight preference to number 2.
I actually forgot how much fun they actually were.
I think they're so fun too because they're so simple.
We know the people who made that are making a new game.
Yes.
Yep.
That I can't wait for that.
And I think we talked about that one.
I was thinking we had.
Back for Blood.
Yeah.
Back for Blood. Yep.
Awesome name too.
And I think they even wrote the title out similar to like Left 4 Dead.
Yep, they did.
Yep.
And it was really cool. The trailer that they have a little teaser trailer out, and it shows off some of the new zombie types. It looks pretty intense.
So, Mark, you never played it on Xbox, did you?
I did very briefly, like not much.
Okay. Yeah, I played it on the 360, so I never played it on PC, but I'm sure it's pretty similar.
Back when I bought it, me and the buddy I bought it with, like immediately we just like dumped a lot of like the mods that they have for it in there. And so like, we were fighting at like Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings, and all the characters were velociraptors for me.
That's awesome.
And
that is sweet.
Yeah, I forgot how to turn off the mods. So like for like years, like I only saw velociraptors in the game, and I just figured out the other day how to turn them off, and it's the easiest thing ever.
So I didn't think about mods for that game being on PC. That would be pretty cool. I bet there's some sweet ones.
Yeah, there's definitely some good ones out there.
Because there's only
sick.
Yeah, because there's only like several weapons on the like the console version.
Yeah, and like there's because now the two games are merged, there's quite a few maps, but you play through them so many times.
Yeah. Might have to look into that, see how much that is, because that's a great game.
I remember playing it on the 360. I hadn't played it since.
Look, now we have another live stream.
There you go.
I don't know how much that is on Steam, but I would say I would comfortably pay $15 for it.
Hello? You know what? I got Steam up, so I'll just tell you real quick. Left 4 Dead. Oh, there's a bundle, and the bundle is $15.
Great,
Well,
great
that's
price
pretty
for it.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So not bad.
And it comes with both games kind of
Yeah.
embedded together. Yeah, that's totally cool.
Or you can buy each one for $9.99 if you only wanted one.
Oh my Lord. Why would you? That's bad economics.
It's online online co-op, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, me and my buddy, that's who I was playing with him the other night. Definitely a game that just never really gets old.
That's
Right.
pretty cool. We might have to do that, guys.
I'm in.
I'm in.
You play with a controller, Mark, or you play with like mouse keyboard?
I just play mouse keyboard. It's the layout's pretty good.
I will say I like controller for a game like this. I'll probably hook one up.
Yeah. It's like Call of Duty controls. If you ever played that on PC.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad.
Cool. The other thing I've been playing, a modded version of Minecraft called Pixelmon, and it's a Pokemon mod. So it's like still Minecraft, but there's like Pokemon running around, and they don't look like, they're not like cubic like Minecraft is. It's like they look like actual Pokemon.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's actually really addicting.
That's interesting.
Like the friend that got me in, and the same guy I was playing Left 4 Dead 2 with, he got us into it. I like he's like really into this Pokemon, like really into like training up the special skills and all that stuff and like the stats. But so he was like explaining all that to us because it's easier to do it in Pixelmon, and like we all were getting pretty into like training up our team and like fine tuning things there for a minute, but super addicting if you like Pokemon.
It sounds like it would be. Yeah, it sounds like it'd be just as addicting as the Pokemon games.
Yeah, it's definitely it's so cool because it's like like a fully open world Pokemon game,
Right.
and they have gyms and stuff there too.
That's cool.
Yeah, and everything's free to download to it, so that's even better. You just had to buy Minecraft.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah.
But the last thing I have played for the week, I beat Full Throttle Remastered, fellas.
Hey, there it is.
So the question we have to ask is, did you put your lips on that?
I did put my lips on that. Yeah, I think I beat it like the day after we recorded the last episode. And me and Ryan went and got dinner the other night with my parents and his wife, my sister. And I wanted to tell him so bad at dinner, but I was like, it's gonna be better to do it on the podcast.
Save it for that real reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you think of it?
The more I played the story, the more I actually just was really having a good time with it. Like I definitely really enjoy. I wanted to get all the achievements and come back and be like, look, I did it, but that did not happen. I don't even all the achievements are secret, and
right.
But yeah, I would play it again to go back and get the achievements for sure.
Very cool. I'm glad we didn't lead you astray on that one.
Yeah, that was a great game. A lot of fun.
Yep. So what'd you think of the bike fights?
Man, I did have to look up. Like that was pretty confusing. The part when you're on Mine Road and it's just like I didn't understand. Like I felt like I was just fighting endlessly, and finally I found like the right, I guess, order to do it in. But
yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then the part right after that where you're going into the cave, that was awesome.
Yeah, the cave part, that one got me a little bit because I had to try and remember that. So Just
That one took me
remembering.
a while.
Yeah, because you have to remember to put them on and then look for it.
Right.
Yep.
So, but the sweet victory of jumping that goalie is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was definitely, the payoff was worth it. And I loved using the RC car to get the box of robot bunnies and like taking them out on the minefield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's great is when you finish the game and they roll the credits, they have those bunnies at the end too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you watch through all the credits, Mark? It gives you an achievement if you do.
I did not.
Well, there you go. There's one.
Yeah. I thought about it, but I think I had to be somewhere. Like, it's kind of like a time constraint right before I beat it.
I got you.
Yeah, but the one part we were talking about, Mark, is so if anyone has not played this through and planning on it, just tune me out for about 20, 30 seconds. But the part we were talking about that took us a while and that takes you a while to figure out is whenever you're on the front of that truck and you have to figure out how to get behind them.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
With the cane.
Yeah, dude, he was so quick. I was like trying to like move my cursor over, and it was like every time I get like, I was like a couple inches off, and I was like,
Yeah.
that was so frustrating.
And that's what we were talking about. Is I think that was better on the PC because your mouse, you can control so much easier. Where I felt like my joystick was almost too slow for it.
Dude, yeah, like it was definitely way too slow. It was like that felt like it was like luck.
Yeah. He don't give you time. I mean, it's a second maybe.
But I mean, I guess if you're really stuck on the front of a truck and all, I mean, I guess maybe that would be realistic.
I don't know. If a guy swinging a cane at me when I was on the front of a truck, I'd have to rethink some life choices that led me to that moment.
Yeah.
Well, he did it all for Malcolm.
Rip Burger.
Oh, and the part where you go into the was it Malcolm's office? I mean, he's giving the speech, and you have to like mess up the reel and everything.
Oh yeah.
That took me a while to like, because I kept walking into like the room with the woman in it, and I was like, I thought you had to like sneak into the other room before she turned around and saw you.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad you finished it. That's a good game.
Yeah, definitely worth a playthrough.
And it was free.
Yep.
For you.
Even better.
Can't beat it.
So, all right, Micah, what about you?
Well, I played not quite a few. I played a few games this week. One that we'll talk about next week, the medium, but played through and beat Resident Evil 7 again. Looking forward to the release of Village coming out pretty soon. So I went through and played Biohazard again, and that game is still scary.
Dude, that game is so scary.
Yeah. It's one of the best Resident Evils, I think. Just for the fear factor alone.
Yeah, that was the first Resident Evil game I ever played.
Oh, really?
Yep, I was
Oh, wow.
I had just started college, I think, and my buddy had just gotten his first apartment. So like on a weekend, we decided we were gonna play that, and it was the other scary game at the time. It was the one where you're like walking around an asylum with the camera. Outcast.
Oh, yeah, Outcast.
Or Outlast or
Outlast. You're right.
But yeah, that Resident Evil 7. I like that one more than Outlast. That game is so intense.
Yeah. It's and it's really cool too that they took a lot of inspiration from Texas Chainsaw Massacre is where a lot of that inspiration came from. That real creepy family and everybody's kind of a maniac killer and yeah, it was good, real good game.
I might actually have to play that and like complete it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it just gets crazier and crazier. The last family member that you fight is by far the scariest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by far. Like the mom is pretty freaky. I don't know if do you remember going up against her?
Is that the old lady?
Not the one in the wheelchair, but the one who she like gets those super long arms and she crawls around on the ceiling and stuff.
Is that in the kitchen or and like you can go?
It's
I think we got to one or two boss fights.
I got you. You might not have gotten to her yet then. But she's freaky as crap. But the scariest one is the last one. It's kind of a hidden family member. You probably haven't even met this family member yet.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Do you have to go out of your way to find it?
No, it's part of the story. But
Oh okay.
this person isn't at the dinner table, and you don't see him until you come across their room in the house.
Okay, yeah, dude. I'll definitely have to reinstall this and actually beat it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the play for sure.
Did you play it on Xbox or PlayStation?
On Xbox.
Is that one on Game Pass?
Um, I don't know. I own it. But I don't know if it's on Game Pass. It's a good question.
At this point, it probably is.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely, there's something for it on there, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I have the disc version. So if you want to borrow it, you're more than welcome to borrow it.
I might take you up on that if it's not on Game Pass.
Yeah, take a look, and if it's not, just let me know, and I'll get it to you.
For sure, appreciate it.
Yep. But yeah, played through that, and I played. Well, I'm not quite done with it yet, but I've been playing Thronebreaker, the Witcher Tales. It's a game kind of based. It's like a choose your own adventure type game. With the battles are all based on Gwent card games. So you're playing as Queen Meve of Lyria, and you're fighting off the Nilfgaardian invasion. And anytime you go to a battle, you play a game of Gwent, the card game, kind of like Hearthstone. It's pretty good. It's a original story. A lot of the characters from The Witcher show up in it. It's more of the Witcher world. So it's really cool. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, I'd seen that game. I've never played any of the Witcher games, but
Oh, they're good. They're so good. Well, number 3. 2 is pretty good, but 3 is the best. 1 is just janky, but it's charming.
yeah, I've heard that it feels pretty dated these days.
Oh yeah, it was the first one I played though, so it was I have a soft spot for that one.
For sure.
I've also been playing a lot of Ghost Recon Wildlands recently. I wasn't into it when it first came out, but the patches and the DLC that has come out for it have really made it a pretty awesome game. And I'm playing it on my Series X, so everything loads faster. The driving doesn't stutter as much, so I'm having a much more enjoyable time with it. I think a lot of people are appreciating Wildlands more now after Breakout came out, or excuse me, Breakpoint came out. Breakpoint just wasn't what anyone was expecting. It wasn't as good as people expected. Wildlands though is good. Have you guys played it yet?
I haven't, but I've really wanted to.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it looks pretty good.
It's good. If you like this open world, playground of destruction type games, you'd probably dig it. Kind of reminds me of like a military themed Grand Theft Auto in a way.
Did you ever play Mercenaries World in Flames?
Yes, I love those games. Going back to like PS2.
Yeah, that's why you say an open world like sandbox destruction. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yep, it's like that. It's more realistic than that.
Right, right.
Because it's Tom Clancy and all his they go for realism.
Yeah.
Even though the stuff that they talk about is not realistic at all. Sending a team of 4 dudes into the country of Bolivia to bring on an entire cartel. Come on. Anyway, but yeah, it's pretty good. And yeah, very similar to Mercenaries.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Might have to check that one out too.
I recommend it. It's pretty cool. The story's okay. You don't really play it for the story though. The gameplay's real tight. There's all kinds of weapons you can get and change your loadout. So yeah, it's worth the time.
Awesome. Awesome.
And then lastly, last game I've been playing is kind of a blast from the past. Uh, Again, I love my old games. So I've been playing some Final Fantasy VIII uh, um, remastered or whatever they call it, and it's just as cool as I remember it. That is a very unique Final Fantasy game, very very unique entry into the series.
I want to play that one so bad. I kind of wish I would have started that one before I started 7. That one is the one I wanted the most when I got all of them.
8,
Yep.
yeah, 8's good. I like this. Some people are going to get really offended at this, but but I said it. All right, it is what. Uh, a lot of people say that 9 is better, but I never got into 9. I didn't like the art style. I didn't really like the story. Um, for me, it's the order of how good they are is 7, 8, and 9 in that order. I still love 7, but I think it's just because it was my first RPG I beat all the way through. Um, but 8 is a very close second. I love the story. Story is just bonkers.
Yeah, I haven't played much Final Fantasy, but gosh, what I have played, I really, really like.
Hey, Mark, did you ever finish the older Final Fantasy games? I know you were starting them, or at least bought them.
I haven't yet. Like I said, I started 7, and I didn't have my PlayStation 1 up in my apartment for a minute. And when I finally brought that and what I thought was all of my PlayStation 1 games up here, the one I realized I forgot was Final Fantasy 7.
Ooh,
So I haven't really played it, in a minute. But I started with Final Fantasy 1, but I felt, I was too curious to finish that. I wanted to, like, I switched from that to Final Fantasy 7.
gotcha.
Big jump.
Oh yeah, it's a huge jump, mechanics
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, it seems like to be only the same game in name.
Yeah, they're really all kind of disconnected.
Yeah.
I will say that 7 and 8 have really similar um, mechanics, uh, but yeah, they're all very separate.
Is that it for you, Micah?
That's all I got. Yeah, like I said, I'll talk about the medium next week, and yeah, so that's it. That's all for my gaming uh, time this week.
So, real quick, have either of you guys played For the King?
For the King, I feel like is
It's
that the one where it's like almost like a board game type?
Yes, it's a turn-based combat strategy game.
I have played it.
Looks a little animated.
Yeah.
It looks like it could be fun. It's online co-op, multiplayer. It's going to be free on Epic Games starting February 4th for I think like 1 or 2 weeks. So that might be something we need to snag up.
For sure.
Do you know when that starts?
February 4th.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
So,
I've had my eye on this game, but I just haven't picked it up.
Yeah, it looks like it's could be pretty enjoyable. Simple, but looks like it's fun. So definitely we need to snag this. This is probably something we can all hop on and play too. So we'll plan on that.
I'm down with that. For the King.
For the King. And Mike, any update on Cyberpunk? Still good, or you've been playing it any?
I've kind of set it aside. Just until I might even just set it aside until the next gen update comes out, to be totally honest with you. I've just been getting into other games, and I know that the patch that they put out caused a possible game breaking bug. So they had to patch the patch. So I'm just gonna wait.
Gotcha. Hey, I'm on the same page with you. I'm gonna wait it out.
I just think man, they're struggling. They're struggling.
Yeah.
So it'll come together. I have faith, but yeah, it's going to be on the back burner for a minute for me.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's all I've got. If you guys have anything else.
I'm
Uh,
out.
I have nothing else. I am. That is the extent of my wisdom.
All right. Well, as always, please join the Patreon page so we can do some fun new topics, some live streams,
So we can
things like
buy
that.
Maximum Football, stream it for you guys. Come on,
Yeah.
you know you want to see it.
Canadian football.
Yeah, Doug Flutie.
Yeah.
You know we're all gonna have to buy it now.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
unfortunate because
Be
it
talking
looks
about the medium and maximum football next week.
oh man, mediocre.
Ugh.
Well, I appreciate everybody hopping on. I know it's a little late, but better late than never, and we will be back on schedule next week.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, have a good week.
Talk
You
to you in a bit.
too. Thanks.